Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be doing a review on long-awaited stick. It's the Warrior QREdge. If you guys remember this stick, this is from the big unreleased Warrior VIP tour of 2018 for June. And first of all, I want to say thank you very much to Warrior for being able to provide me with the code for myself to be able to get myself a stick, and also for about a dozen codes that I was able to actually pick people out, give them sticks, get their thoughts, get them going, and a lot of them did really well online. They built a very, very awesome online presence. Some of them won hats, some of them won sticks, gloves, all customized, a bag, you name it. A lot of them were contending for it. So very proud of them for being able to get all of that taken care of, and making sure that they were able to look after themselves and give Warrior a reason to consider them even more further for future Warrior VIP codes and considerations. So very glad about that. So let's go ahead and get started. So this stick, I ended up originally got two. You only see one, the other one ended up giving away. The original one was a W03 backstrom curve, but it was actually an 85 flex, which I was having some issues with, and then eventually, and unfortunately, a guy took a solid swing to it around right here and ended up cracking it, giving it a pretty sizable chip that actually took off material. So unfortunately, for that stick, they were able to actually replace it. They ended up sending me a new one, and they asked me if I wanted a different flex, because I did actually mention that 85 flex on this stick was too whippy for me, so it is. So they sent me 100 flex, kept the grip, kept the backstrom curve. As you know, it's a Sackett clone, and we've been able to put some good use to it, and for a good long while, and I've been pretty happy with it. There are some things that I wasn't very happy about. We'll touch up on those as well, but I mean, just like any stick, you are going to find good qualities and you're going to find some qualities that are not desirable to how you play or shoot. This is the most recent continuation of the QR line. As you remember, the original one was the QRL, and the original QRL, I did actually get to use that. It was very good stick, very quick shots. Kind of had some pinginess to the blade, but that ended up changing in different generations of it. And now the most recent one is the QREdge, where the blade is lighter, the weave is a lot tighter. They're using a minimus carbon, I believe it's 1200, sorry. They're using the minimus carbon 1200, which is their way of saying that they're fitting more fiber into the actual weave of the stick, where you can see it's the entire weave, one full sock all the way through, all the way down. So as you can see, it is a little bit tighter. The tinier squares means that there's more tighter fabric to it, to the composite, which means that you get more durability. There's more strands. They're a lot more tighter. They're going to hold a lot more whenever there's any type of damage, which allows you to use the stick on the ice as long as possible before it eventually gives out, whether it's going to be being slashed, whether it's going to be the blade breaking, whatever it is. The purpose of this is to make it lighter but stronger or tougher. So touching up on that, another one is also the continuation of the taper. And this one, it's called a taper edge. It originally used to be called a dagger, and they went ahead and they changed the names of it around as well. So if you can see it, you can kind of see the lighting right there. The taper is entirely different. It's more like an edge. It's beveled. If you've ever been in a kitchen, or if you have a kitchen in your house and you have forged knives, one thing that you'll notice is there's going to be the blade, the sharp part, and then at the very top, if you ride your fingers like that, you're going to see a bump on the forged knife, because what they do is they bring it down and they create the stronger part up top, or in this case it's the bottom, that allows you to be able to cut down and everything, but still give you a nice strong blade up at the top, instead of allowing it to be very flimsy, just like regular standard knives that you can buy. They're flexible. A forged knife is not going to be. So my belief is they probably thought about that as well and put it into the stick and implement it on here. So what it does is it allows you to put some more power into loading your shot, gives some more torque, allows you to shoot faster because of the reaction for it is here, and then the rest is going to keep it straight, keep it stiff, and then by the time this flexes, you're already releasing the shot, so you're putting some good torque into it and you're releasing it. In the past, Warrior has always kind of used very stiff blades that you feel it. They sound different. They're a little bit stiffer, and you know, as you know, with something stiffer means more product being added into it. So the more material that they add, the heavier it is going to be. In this case, what it feels like they ended up doing was they removed some of the internal material to make it lighter and be able to snap the shot out more. My only beef with that is it kind of takes away from the puck feel. It makes the blade a little bit louder, so you know where you have the puck, because anytime it makes contact, it is going to be fairly loud. However, there are times where I would skate with the puck and lose it, but I think that would happen with about any other stick, maybe, and it does. It happens with Bauer, it happens with CCM. The lighter the blade, sometimes you do get some zones that are going to be unable to read where the puck is, but you know, if you're attentive, you'll be able to see and go from there. It's got the taper just like that. It's got the taper nice and thin, which allows you to transfer more power. Another benefit to that is, of course, this is a low kick stick. It's got an ultra low kick. You can actually see it whenever you take shots. You see the flex, the kick point. It's always going to be right here. Doesn't matter where your hands are up here. Doesn't matter if you move them down. Doesn't matter if you have them high. Whenever you do take the shot, it's always going to be right here. This is going to be the loading zone. One thing that's really lacking because of this is a stick built to perform for wrist shots and snapshots. So this is where you get off the wrist shot. This is where you get off the snapshot as quickly as you can. The only thing that's different about it is slap shots and one-timers. Now, I did have video. I think I might have some saved on Instagram. They were from a while ago before I got hurt, where you see me taking slap shots and you see the stick. What it does is it'll flex, but it kind of feels like you're fluffing the shot. Maybe it's my mechanics, maybe it's not, maybe it's the stick itself, but it doesn't feel like this is the type of stick that was created for a slap shot. So in that case, if it is okay with taking slap shots, maybe I'm putting too much power into it, or it goes into the case of needing a higher flex. For one-timers, it wasn't too bad, even though 85 flex felt like I was getting a good shot off. It felt a little bit like the blade wasn't allowing me to transfer as much power as possible, but once I started getting, you know, finding the sweet spot on the blade, which ended up being actually, so you can see some of the wax right here. I start the tape right here and go from there. Ended up finding out on this stick in particular, the sweet spot on the blade is right here, where it would be expected for a stick that's created to maximize your wrist shot and snapshot. So once you catch a puck right here, even on a one-timer or a slap shot, that puck is going to just sing right off of the face of the blade and, you know, go to your desired spot that you're aiming at. So when you do find it, you are able to feel the difference. You're able to feel the difference in the shot and where you're placing the shot on the net. This is all thanks to the really low kick point working together with the sweet spot on the blade, but also the fact that, you know, they're using a True One Phantom. one-piece construction. Now, the way that that works is a lot of sticks, and this goes with Bauer, this goes with CCM and Old Warrior sticks. A lot of sticks are created as a shaft, and then some of them are created as a spear, like a V construction. And then what they do is they take the blade and they insert it so it's like this, and then they just shave it down, shape it up, wrap it up, and then bake it to let all the materials seal together, and with the epoxy that they'll add. So it's all different. However, with this one, what they ended up doing was they created the blade, they created the shaft all in one piece, one sock, multiple layers, and they baked it all together, and then you have this stick that came out. So it's a true one piece. There are a couple of others. I believe, from what I've been told, is that the Bauer ADV, the $400 stick, is the same type of construction. One thing is, I did give these codes to a couple of different people, a couple of women, and as you know, some women are not going to use 100 flex like a lot of us do. Some of them don't even use 85, which is fine. And a couple of the women that I gave codes to, they use 65 flex and 75 flex. Normally you don't really see a 65 flex senior stick. This is actually available in 65 flex, so it does give you the benefit of being able to get it in full length for whatever height you are, get it at 65, and if you need to cut it down, you bump it up to 70, 75, whatever you need, and you're able to actually get that taken care of and go from there. So one of them did tell me that she ended up going with the 65 because she normally uses 70, 75, takes the 65, she cuts off about 3 or 4 inches. Now she's hovering in the 70, 75 range. It's still a nice whippy stick, so she's not losing too much power to it, because it didn't make the blade, I'm sorry, it did not make the stiffness of the shaft go up where it's too much and it's overwhelming. So that's always a plus. So whether you're a guy, whether you're a female, and you need a different type of flex, a lower flex, this is available. But as it is, my reminder is going to be that this is already a very whippy stick. This stick, as it sits at 100 flex, feels closer to a 90, an 85 flex, and my 85 flex stick felt like a 75. Including the people who did try it, they said it felt like a 75 flex. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about, but I think when more than 3 people tell me the same thing and they agree, it kind of does make sense. Now, for the price, right now it is at $260 on Hockey Monkey, Hockey Giant, or Pure Hockey, whatever they're called now. Some of them do offer codes. I know Hockey Monkey does offer codes. You can buy this with a code, I'm sure, and they'll be able to work with you. However, it's all going to be different. Like I said, every stick is different for every person. If you're using a mid-level kick stick, not mid-level, like a mid-kick stick, this might not be the stick for you. It's worth a shot. However, this is going to be a little bit different. It's going to take some getting used to. I've been using a lot of mid-kick sticks, and so when I got my hands on this one, I thought, whoa, this is going to be a little bit different. Once I got used to it, I was able to start getting shots off like nothing, but at first I did struggle. I'm not going to lie, and I've come to the conclusion that although it's a good stick and I would keep using it, I'm still more of a mid-kick stick type of guy. Would I recommend this stick if you're a person who uses a low kick stick? Absolutely. If you have the money or you have the opportunity to be able to get this, go ahead and get it. It's a very, very good stick, very decent. The only thing that I have to say is, the blade is going to feel totally different because the blade is so much lighter. It sometimes feels like you're swinging nothing unless you're holding just this end of the shaft, it still feels so blade light. And I think that's part of the reason why you're able to get shots completely and just, you know, hammer them out, because the lighter the stick, the faster it allows you to swing your hands. The faster you swing your hands, the more velocity and power and torque you can create and transfer it onto the face of the blade, onto the puck. And because it's a fairly stiff blade, there is no back flex or anything. You don't have to worry about losing any type of power with any back flex. So it just transfers straight to the puck and you go from there. So as far as shooting, it's a very good stick. For the grip, their grip has always been really interesting. It's not overly grippy, like where it'll catch your glove or your palm and then you feel kind of stuck. The best comparison is Bauer and their grip tack that they use. This grip tack feels overly sticky on my palms, whether I'm using digital, Nash, even my Eagle MSH2 palms. Like, this grip tack feels overly sticky to the point where I will either sand it off or spray paint it with a clear coat just to kind of take that away and make it more satin, just to be able to have like more comfortable grip. This one right out of the box, it's still sticky, but it's not like the original nipple grip that everybody used to praise. This one's a little bit different. It's got more lines going across at an angle, and it's really cool because if you feel the Warrior lettering, it's elevated, so it's kind of bumpy. I like this one better. I kind of wish every company did this exact one, you know, not the Warrior lettering. Obviously that's not going to work for them, but I like this grip better. So that's my plus on this stick, is the grip is fantastic. The geometry of the shaft, it's fairly square. The walls are soft shaped, soft round, maybe like a C shape, but it's not too much of a C. And I don't feel any concave to the walls at all. So it's just a straight shaft all across, and then it meets the taper and it starts kind of tapering out right here, and you start feeling the edge of the taper, edge taper. One thing I will mention about this is, if you're a taller guy, I'm 6'2", so I'm not that tall, but I still like to use a fairly long stick. My issue with Warrior has always been they have short shafts. It's not too short. I would say it's about 3 or 4 inches from the normal. So thankfully I had these custom made Easton composite shafts that fit everywhere. So I've had a lot of these over the years, and I still have quite a few left. So anytime that I get a certain stick and I need one, bam, right here, there's 4.5 inches right there that we can use, and we are good to go. So with this one, we ended up having to add a composite plug to the shaft. The good thing about it is it's made out of composite, so it's not going to hurt the feel of the stick. It's not going to hurt the actual kick point or anything at all, or the flex, because it is composite. It is made to react with the rest of the stick, whereas if we did a wood plug, it would make the stick heavier, it would make the stick stiffer, it would make the stick more impossible to handle, whereas these are pretty thin. These plugs are actually smaller, thinner than the actual Warrior shaft, so it's kind of like a drop off that you can see right there. So you see it, and then it drops off, and the composite plug is actually smaller. So that's about it. That's the only thing that I had to really add to it. So other than that, it is a very good stick. If you're a type of person who, like I said, likes to have a lower kick stick, you want to take good hard shots but make it so effortless, this is the stick for you. This replacement came to me. It has been kicking since. There have been multiple people that have used it. There is no wear or tear that I'm showing besides puck marks and a couple of scratches, and honestly I can't complain about it. So If you can get your hands on it, try it out. If you can't get your hands on it and you're here, you can borrow mine if you're a lefty, and that way you can give it a try and, you know, jump on the hype train of, you know, the Warrior family. So every year, whenever a new stick comes out, like I said, I've been very lucky with them. You know, look up the Warrior VIP hashtag, and then whatever the hashtag is going to be for that stick. In this one, it's going to be Gain the Edge, Warrior Edge, Covert QREdge. There's always some really cool stuff. There's some people that made videos. I was able to collaborate on a video with some wonderful people, and that was thrown together by Brianna, and I'll link it below, or you can, you know, follow me on Twitter. I'll link it to you there as well. It's pretty great, and I think I've actually uploaded it as well, so it's pretty fun. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know, and we'll go from there. So this has been a review for the Warrior Covert QREdge. Cheers.